that you asked us in advance.
Ask the rep.
Pardon?
Ask the rep.
Sure. It's fine, don't worry about that, Doctor.
Good afternoon. I'm here to talk about GWA.
Is this a follow-up to your earlier discussions?
It's a follow-up and new information.
Okay.
I'd like to address item 5.7 initially on your agenda.
Sure, okay.
This, I believe, is the first public admission that I have been able to see from GWA that they have a problem with their water. Hopefully, we are talking here about tens of millions of dollars, and I would hope that it's over $100 million for this fund. 2/3 of our population now is exposed to contaminated water. And this is going to cost GWA a lot of money down the road. Putting this into a bank account, I think, is poor planning. I think you need to get bankers and investment people together and come up with a solution that makes more sense. You know, for a month or two while you're trying to figure out what to do, perhaps. And obviously you also need to have your legal people start putting together what the parameters are for dispensing this, because we're looking at a big problem here. I'd also like to address item 5.3. I think that needs to be one of the priorities of GWA, because not only do we have contaminated water, but we're pushing contaminated water into various parts of our environment. And that needs, I think, to have a very high priority. I think the game is over as far as solving the problem. I don't think that that's possible. I think that we need to be looking at providing potable water for all of our citizens, and this, I think, means that you're either going to have to put money into providing that or contracting with providers on the island that are already working to do that. But I think that needs to be a priority as well. The longer you put this off, the more it's going to cost you down the road, and that's why you're getting these big sums of money. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I need a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Motion for approval of the minutes.
Second.
All right, so moved. Okay. Mr. John B., you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. 4 items for your approval today, as was discussed in the work session of last Thursday. First item, Resolution FY 2025-24, and that's relative to authorizing the Power Authority to contract for comprehensive unarmed security, uniform security guard services. The difference this year versus the past 5 years is that there is one site added to the location, to the contract. And again, the lowest bidder came in with about an annual cost of $1.2 million per year. The resolution is asking for the 3-year plus 2 1-year option for your approval, again, subject to the PUC approval. That's the, there's any question on that resolution?
Motion to approve GPA Resolution FY 2025-24.
We need a second.
Second.
All right, so move. Call for the vote, colleagues. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution FY 2025-25, and this is related to adopting the budget for Guam Power Authority for fiscal years 2026-2027. First of all, I thank the Commission for a 2-year budget. It has been very helpful to the authority in managing and again spending more time and doing what he has to do instead of the budget process. The budget itself, of course, is important because it does have a rate adjustment as was filed before the PUC to pay for the new Ukudu power plant. The new Ukudu power plant is about $79 million a year. The additional revenue we're asking from the base rate is about 50, and of course the balance of it is coming from savings and coming from the current base rate. In addition, we have reduced our CIP down from very close to 30 million or so down to about 21. This is the revenue generated CIP. Again, so that to minimize the rate impact. So what this includes is that the debt service coverage for FY 2026 will be only about 1.11, just enough to comply with the rating agency's minimum debt service coverage of 1.10. But because the Greco power plant lease is going away in fiscal year 2027, that would actually bring our debt service coverage then to about 1.32. And in addition to that, our team has looked at the next 5-year capital improvement plan requirement, and we have come out with about $200 million worth of work that we believe we should attend to. So what I'll be doing, Mr. Chair, is actually we're scrubbing all that CIP requirement, and we'll be coming to the CCU in October to request for issuing of bonds. No, the issuing of bonds starts with the legislature approving authorization. Of course, you're approving the issue as needed, and then the legislature providing authorization, and then the PUC approving, and then of course we go out to the bond market. And that timing could be when revenues are enough to support that scenario. So, but understanding that our debt coverage is only 21, our debt, our capital investment for the next 2 fiscal years is only about 21 million per year. We do have a bigger picture, investment that we would like to make. Really, so this is kind of a bare bones budget, Mr. Chair. I thank the chairman for the Finance Committee, Peter Roy, and yourself for working with us on this. It does show that from fiscal year 2025 to 2026, there is an increase of about 56 million in the base rate, and a decrease of about 113 million on the oil. So again, as was always said, the new power plant is very efficient. However, we have to pay for it, but there will be net savings that will go back to the customers in terms of lower LIAC costs. So that, Mr. Chair, is what I have for you. I'm open to any questions on this.
Anything, colleagues, further to this discussion?
I want to thank the management for the budget, putting it together, and as we move forward, I like to challenge also the team to be able to see what we can do into the future, so that instead of going upwards, maybe we can pinch in whatever areas, and to tuck and trim, and God willing, we can go backwards and maybe forward the blessings to the customer again. But for this year, yeah, I'd like to move forward with this.
Is there a motion?
No, go ahead.
Motion to approve GPA Resolution FY 2025-25.
Second?
Second?
Second.
All right, call for the vote, colleagues. Please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, Jambi.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to also thank our CFO and the budget team for
Yes.
a lot of work that went into putting the packets very professionally for us, so, thank you.
All right. Can you release them so they can go? Oh, thank you very much. Good job, Pam and team. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Good job.
Next year will be better, right? There you go.
Bye.
2 years?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So next item is Resolution FY 2025-26, and this is again related to authorizing a construction change order at the, Bateman, level Bateman and additional tank repair for the 268,000 barrel fuel oil tank, tank 1934. As was noted, every 10 plus years, the tanks have to be recertified and all that to handle the fuel oil, our fuel oil needs. These two tanks, actually 1934, 1935, provide us over 500,000 barrel storage. Tank 1935 has been completed, and that cost about $9 million, about $8.some million. This tank 1934 will be completed next year in 2026 at a cost of close to about $9-something billion. However, the tank is now going from burning thick, heavy oil to really what you call light fuel, which is diesel fuel. So therefore, especially attention has to be taken, and so again, the team has worked out that this is needed to now complete the tank, and so therefore I'm asking your approval to go ahead and continue the work of tank 1935. Once that is completed, that would provide us a huge capacity for storing anywhere past 6 months actually of fuel on the island.
Motion to approve GPA Resolution FY 2025-26.
Second?
All right, so move, colleagues. I'll call for the vote. Please say aye.
Aye.
Last item is the Chair's Resolution 2025-27. This is related to extension of the performance management contract for the combustion turbines. Temis has been the contractor for ourselves, but the contract ends in February of 2026. We do have a bid in process, but it's going to take several months to get it approved, to get it again, where we do have the new bids and provide for mobilization of wherever the bidder is. If it's Temis, of course, mobilization is shorter. However, if it's a new contract area, it will be longer to get that done. This will include all the combustion turbines that we have today, and that again, the holidays are coming upon us. Protest is not uncommon in a scenario of this type of a bid. In fact, we do have a protest in the stream right now that we're addressing, and so again, our team wanted to request an extension of up to about 5 months at the rate that we're being paid today. And part of that is again because they need to plan, they need to be able to. The team that are here have to have the living accommodations, all of that. So instead of waiting for the last minute to be able to do this, we're here to ask your permission to go ahead and extend this up to this 5-month period. That's it, Mr. Chair.
Motion to approve GPA Resolution FY 2025-27.
Second?
All right, so move, colleague. Call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That's Mr. Chair.
Why don't you just update us on the latest we could do that we can,
Yep.
yeah.
latest on Okudu is it has been running at about 134 megawatts over several days. It did trip again one time, but again, it's not unusual for the scenarios like this to occur. Like I mentioned, they made the adjustments. There's nothing serious. Adjustments are made. So the unit was shut down between all the units were shut down between 8 and 9 this morning. Because the next test will be what they call from cold start. They're cooling down all the units. They're going to start it up from cold start and go all the way up to about 198, 200 megawatts. And that will happen tomorrow night. So again, and then from there, there was still more commissioning during the process. They won't shut the machines down for at least 2 or 3 days during this period. So again, that's the latest on Okudu. Looks like the steam turbine, they're confident with it because they're going to go up to 200 tomorrow. And the steam turbine has been generating around 42 out of 63 megawatts. So now they're going to bring it up to the 63 megawatts.
It's good that we're experiencing the trip now in the testing period.
Okay.
That means all the safeties are working, so that when we really go smooth sailing through, everything is in sync. But yeah, we do understand that during the testing, it's good that we're experiencing different hiccups on this. So we refine it and fine tune it.
During this major testing, we will have our backup machines manned and ready in case anything happens. And of course, I hope everything goes.
Projected commissioning date is still September 30th.
Yes, that's still a target that they're working towards.
So should we inform the public that we are also testing this, and if we do have backups and everything all
Yeah.
set up, but just in case,
I
we
think we've
can't,
been,
don't throw stones and
Yeah, we have put out press release and we'll let them know again.
wonderful.
Thank you. All right, John, thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, John. Give a few minutes, President.
Yeah. I had a little bit mixed feeling on the security situation. I appreciate the sheriff talking about the cameras and high tech. I think it was like 35, almost 35, 40 years ago.
And you ready?
He ran from the inside. We operate that gate, where you
Okay, colleagues. Brett, you have the floor now.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. We have a number of resolutions for consideration of the board this evening, beginning with 49 FY 2025. This is a resolution to add additional funding to the indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity professional project and construction management services contract for island-wide sewer collection and transmission system repair, rehabilitation, and replacement project with Brown and Caldwell. This will add approximately $2 million, $1.998 million of funding to include some additional work under task orders 1 and 2, including some assessment and repair of gravity lines located in Agate, Santa Rita, and Maritzo, including sewer pump stations 16 and 17 and ejector stations 3 and 6. All of this work is related to the partial consent decree.
Motion to approve GWA resolution number 49-FY 2025.
Second.
So moved. All right, colleagues, please acknowledge by saying aye.
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 Next, Brett.
All right, next up is resolution number 51 FY 2025, and this is relative to increasing the funding
For GPA.
for the Aspen Springs Rehabilitation Design Project. We began this project a number of years ago. There's been some issues that we've been working through with the National Park Service, which owns a portion of the site. And in the interim, it was not contemplated in the original design scope, but we now are aware that there are PFAS requirements that are going to need to be treated at this site, and so this funding, approximately $741,906 of additional design scope, and then we're requesting a 10% contingency with that, making it an additional $816,000 that will be necessary to have the designer alter the design and include the design work necessary to add GAC treatment and implement the requirements that will be needed before we can put this back online.
Motion to approve resolution, GWA resolution 51-FY 2025.
Second.
Any questions, colleagues?
Well, when it comes to sewer and water, we really commend the work moving forward to better the system. So we support this project. I myself. Keep up the good work.
Okay, call for the vote now. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next, Brett.
All right, next up is Resolution 52, FY 2025, and it lists 11 different projects that we are asking the board to approve us to petition the PUC as a part of the contract review protocol before we can put these out to solicit design and construction services for these projects.
Motion to approve GWA resolution 52-FY 2025.
Second.
Questions, colleagues?
No.
None?
Move on.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Next.
All right, and the next two resolutions will be presented by CFO.
Right.
Good evening. Good evening,
Good evening.
Commissioners. Resolution 53 FY 2025 is a resolution relative to approving the write-off of certain receivables deemed uncollectible, totaling $1.3 million. The majority of those accounts are trade receivables, and we have two accounts related to employees' health insurance that we had not been able to collect. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, motion to approve GWA resolution 53-FY 2025.
Second.
No further questions, colleague?
Just real quick, we don't employ a collection agency to pursue any of this?
We have a bid out, and I believe that we're in the process of awarding.
Okay,
Unless you had any updated information, no. That's my understanding the last time I talked to Chris.
so do we pursue the collection services prior to the write-off, or do we do it after?
My understanding is that they are given the accounts that are written off, but also some of the older accounts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So even the prior year's write-offs, they can still pursue?
Yes.
And what is typically, what was the solicitation based on, like a percentage of collections? Do they get X amount of what they collect?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know roughly what that percentage was?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm happy to provide what we agreed to in the last contract.
Okay, and can you also just provide any performance history on what they were actually able to collect?
Sure.
What's the statute of limitations for us?
We
2%?
write off after 4 years.
No, but the pursuant of the addition, just 4 years, we're done, can't go collect?
No, we can.
Okay, all right.
And sorry, I
No,
just
but-
wanted to offer that, since the last meeting we were able to collect all the outstanding amounts from the hospital
Oh, that's true, thank you.
and a substantial amount from DOA. So I think we only have about $11,000 worth of accounts that are over, government accounts
Yeah.
that are over 60 days.
I heard you made the motion.
Okay. No further questions, then, colleagues, I'll call for the vote. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, colleagues.
So move, yeah.
Okay, last one, Colleen, 5-7. 5.7.
Resolution 54 FY 2025 is a resolution for authorization to set up an account to receive the PFAS settlement funds. As requested, we made the resolution more generic. There is an RFQ that has been circulated to all the local banks. Bank of Hawaii, First Hawaiian, Bank Pacific, Bank of Guam, and the two credit unions. And so we're expecting those proposals to come in next week, end of next week. Happy to answer any questions related to the setting up of this account.
Yeah, I think it's important that we address the public comments early on regarding, what this money is really intended to be used for, and, in what compliance form we're already at, and really it's what compliance regulations are we actually dealing with, right, which is the EPA regulations. So can you address the public comments that were made earlier on what we intend to use this money to address the water quality?
As the board should be aware, the US EPA in April put forth the regulatory requirements regarding the PFAS chemicals they chose to regulate, and they gave a compliance timeline of 2029. So water systems everywhere in the US have until that 2029 deadline. It's also been reported that the current administration is considering pushing those deadlines back. That is not set at this point, but we could potentially have a longer timeline to get that done. Regardless, what is on the requirement now is compliance by 2029. So these regulations have been a long time coming. The EPA, through their rulemaking process, went through a number of years of public comment and the like. And so we were aware this requirement was on the way, and we've already taken steps to address some of what Guam is going to need to do to comply with these requirements. So going back to the mid-2010s, when the US EPA first put the PFAS chemicals on the national radar and required water systems to test, we had only 3 wells on island that were over, at the time, the public health limit that EPA put out, and that was the 70 nanograms per liter advisory. And so we immediately shut off 2 of those wells, and one of those wells already had a treatment system on it. And so we have been under that health advisory since it was put out. Of course, the actual PFAS requirements are down to 4 nanograms per liter is what the final rule was for PFOS and PFOA, and then that health index that they put out for the other 4 constituents. There are a number of wells that we're going to need to treat because they are over that 4 nanogram per liter limit. We have already, the board last month approved the resolution for us to enter into a design contract to start the process of doing the design work necessary to install these treatment systems at our various wells and sites. And so that that contract is working its way through the approval process. We hope to have the contract finalized and notice to proceed issued shortly and kick off the design contract. We anticipate a number of wells will have standalone systems, and we anticipate putting in some regional treatment systems under that, design project, followed by the construction of what will be needed to implement it.
Okay.
So, as I understand it, the settlement money that's going into this bank account will be available for us to use toward those capital costs to install treatment, but based on the amounts that we believe we're going to get from the various settlements and the amount we estimate the cost to the system is going to be, we're still going to have additional money that will need to be put toward the final PFAS solution that we have.
Okay. And the current number of wells that are being treated, and what is the method of treatment?
So currently in our system, we have of the 3 wells we had when the health advisory limit came out, A23 and A25 were shut down, and they have been offline since. If you've driven along Route 4 near Agania recently, you've probably seen the construction happening there, and that's our project to install GAC carbon filters at those 2 wells to get those wells back in service. Well NAS1 that was at the airport area already had a GAC filtration system on it for a different contaminant, and so there was no issue with leaving that well running because the GAC system's treating both the other contaminant and the PFAS that was in the source water. The airport also has their own wells that they pump to a treatment system up by our by our M21 well, and so they have their own GAC treatment system, and the Tumon Maui well has a GAC treatment system, again for a different chemical, but GAC treatment typically is effective against all types of VOCs.
Right. And then the last question is, of the well that tested positive for PFAS that is being treated by GAC, the test results, are they within the EPA limits?
The test results for NAS1?
I believe NAS1 is the airport one that's being treated. One of the 3, right, that were identified?
That's correct. So typically when we are installing these GAC systems, you install 2 vessels in series. And so you can test the source water, which has the GAC in it, or the PFAS in it. Then you test the water between the 2 GAC filters, and then you test the water coming off the final filter. Mm-hmm. And that allows you to know when the carbon has been expended in the first filter and it's time to change it, and you're still receiving treatment from the second filter. Typically in a treatment system like that, the end result is non-detect.
The end result is what matters too. Right? And so, while the money is in that bank, is it making any interest? Well, what if we do?
We actually received some funds on the 21st. Those funds went into a money market account, which is earning 4%. And then once the RFQ, the procurement procedure is finished, we'll determine where eventually to put the account.
It's good that at least it's making something,
Anything else?
Nothing from me?
Colleagues?
Aye.
No, we voted. I think we voted already.
Oh, we did?
I don't
Okay.
No, we didn't?
Just-
Okay,
no,
all-
I don't
We
think
open
so.
it up for
We open up
questions.
for discussion. Thank you. All right, colleagues?
There was no motion, sir?
Okay.
Yeah,
Motion to
you
approve
wanna give
GWA
motion.
Resolution 54-20 FY 2025.
Second.
All right, now you can vote, Commissioner Dueñas. All in
Aye,
favor?
the second time.
Aye. Thank you. I need a motion to adjourn. Anything else? Okay, we do have a Labor Day picnic on Sunday, guys.
Okay.
Hope it don't rain.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, so moved. Thank you.
Second.
That's pretty easy. Good job, Brett.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Everybody complains about the PFAS. I think it's